Hello and welcome to Celebrity Reporter. In this video, we will be looking at Marilyn Monroe's beautiful homes. When it comes to movie stars, they don't get much bigger than Marilyn Monroe. Over the course of her illustrious career, the legend lived in over 40 different locales, including a New York penthouse she shared with husband Arthur Miller, which is presently on the market. Let's take a look inside some of the jaw-dropping properties where Marilyn lived. Having spent much of her life wandering from house to house until her untimely death in 1962, Marilyn Monroe surprisingly only ever owned one home, which she bought in the last year of her life. The star lived in the sprawling Beverly Hills mansion for just 6 months before she passed away, but the iconic star wasn't born into such palatial properties. A world away from the glitz and glamour that would come to surround her, Marilyn Monroe was born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926 in Los Angeles. Her mother, Gladys Baker, suffered from mental health problems, and her father was absent from the star's life from the beginning. Marilyn had 2 half-siblings, Bernice and Robert, the latter of whom passed away in 1933. Marilyn only found out about Bernice when she was 12 years old, with the pair meeting for the first time in 1944. Just 2 weeks after she was born, Marilyn was taken to the foster home of Ida and Wayne Bolender by her mother Gladys. Over the next 7 years, the young star kept in touch with her mother, and the pair saw each other often. Marilyn stayed with her foster parents in their modest home until she was 7 years old. Marilyn's childhood home with the Bolenders was in the city of Hawthorne in southwestern Los Angeles. She lived in the 1,300-square-foot home with Ida, Wayne, and her foster siblings. Marilyn then moved in with her mother in the summer of 1933, but it wasn't all plain sailing, with Gladys suffering a nervous breakdown in 1935. Monroe was eventually moved to the Los Angeles Orphans Home Society for 2 years, before living with family and friends in numerous homes across Los Angeles. At just 16, Marilyn, still known as Norma Jean, married high school sweetheart James Doherty in 1942. The couple lived in this small apartment block for just 1 year until they moved on in 1943. Home to 8 small apartments, the Sherman Oaks property would have been the perfect starter house for the newly married couple. This unit comes in at just 600 square feet and has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, as well as a small balcony that overlooks the street below. In the summer of 1943, the couple moved on from their snug starter home and rented out a bigger house in the San Fernando region of Los Angeles. After their brief time in the San Fernando Valley, the young couple upped sticks to Santa Catalina Island, where Doherty was enlisted in the Merchant Marines. However, in 1944, he was shipped out to the Pacific, and Monroe had to move in with her in-laws. As Marilyn's modeling career started to take off, the couple began to have differing views over her future and parted ways in 1946. Marilyn Monroe's Burbank apartment. After her divorce, Marilyn stayed at the female-only Hollywood Studio Club for less than a year in late 1940s, a residence for women who were in the motion picture business. She then rented a space in this apartment building in Burbank for the summer while the couple who owned the property were on holiday. The home was close to the Warner Brothers studios, and it was during this period that Monroe embarked on her acting career with roles in Dangerous Years and Scudda Hoo Scudda Hey, and went to change her name to the now iconic Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's Beverly Hills pad. After her stay in Burbank, Monroe moved into the West Hollywood apartment of actor John Carroll and stayed for just 5 months. Then in 1949, she upped sticks again to this home, a stone's throw away from the celebrity property hotspot of Sunset Boulevard, with Johnny Hyde, an American talent agent. Married at the time, Hyde later left his wife for Monroe. The talent agent was also said to have encouraged the young star to dye her hair platinum blonde. The nearly 5,900 square foot home has 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms and was built in 1941. With a grand sweeping staircase taking center stage in the hallway, the property is undoubtedly glamorous, befitting of a rising star like Marilyn Monroe. The plush 2-story residence boasts a spacious backyard with a swimming pool, a sun terrace, and a guest house. To avoid gossip and rumors surrounding her affair with Hyde, Monroe later left the home and moved into the luxurious Beverly Carlton Hotel. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio's love nest. Following a stint living with fellow actress Natasha Lytess after parting ways with Hyde, Monroe met New York Yankees baseball star Joe DiMaggio in 1952, and the pair became inseparable. For 6 months, they rented a sprawling property in West Hollywood before moving into this glamorous Hollywood Hills home a year before they tied the knot in January 1954. The beautiful residence boasts classic Mediterranean architecture and features a sun-soaked terrace that's accessed through sliding doors from the main living space. Elsewhere, the plush estate also has a 2-car garage, a luxurious swimming pool, and a spa in the backyard. Marilyn Monroe's West Hollywood penthouse. Not long after, having been married for just 274 days, the couple divorced in October 1954. Marilyn moved into this elegant apartment building in West Hollywood. Known as Granville Towers, the French Normandy-style property is no stranger to celebrities. Yet a little less than a year after she moved in, the star left Hollywood and headed for New York City, where she married her third and final husband, playwright Arthur Miller. Marilyn Monroe's holiday home. During their 5-year marriage, Marilyn and Arthur also rented out this picture-perfect windmill house in the Hamptons. Used as a hideout to avoid the paparazzi during their very public marriage, the secret holiday home still features the rotating blades from when it was an operational windmill. Marilyn Monroe's New York City penthouse. The newlyweds reportedly moved into this penthouse in New York's Midtown East area, and it's said to be where Miller wrote the screenplay for The Misfits, the last film Monroe starred in. Dating back to 1927, the building was designed by architect Lafayette A. Goldstone and boasts a vaulted marble lobby complete with doorman and elevator operator. Marilyn's 13th floor apartment is now on the market for just over $3 million. Marilyn Monroe's Palm Springs home. In January 1961, Monroe divorced Arthur Miller and headed back to Palm Springs, California, where she is said to have rented out this beautiful home. Built in 1961 and designed by Charles Dubois, the star reportedly moved in not long after it was built, presumably to escape the media circus surrounding her divorce. Outside, the backyard dazzles with a large swimming pool set against endless mountain views. Flanked by a wraparound patio and a covered terrace, it would have been the perfect al fresco entertaining spot for Marilyn to host fellow Hollywood A-listers. Following her divorce from Arthur Miller, a heartbroken Marilyn was admitted to a psychiatric clinic in New York. It was her ex-husband, Joe DiMaggio, who secured her release, whisking her away to the Yankees' Florida training camp to rest and recuperate. While DiMaggio longed for reconciliation, their relationship was a platonic one. But he stood by her and supported her during her battles with addiction, depression, and anxiety. Marilyn Monroe's final home. Around 1961, Marilyn finally decided to put down roots and bought her first home in the Brentwood area of Los Angeles. By then aged 35, the star paid a reported $80,000 and lived there with her longtime housekeeper Eunice Murray. Offering the actress a break from the spotlight, the private home sits behind secure walls and features a gated entrance. Featuring 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, the 2,600 square foot house includes many of the details Monroe selected herself after a reported trip to Mexico to hunt down decorations for the Spanish-style home. The single-story residence, which dates back to 1929, boasts plenty of beautifully manicured outside spaces, too. Not long after she moved into the property, the star tragically passed away in her bedroom at the age of 36 in 1962. She died alone from an overdose of barbiturates. It is a cruel irony that the world's most famous woman, from a broken home, always longed for a place to call her own. When she finally found one, her problems were too great for her to overcome. We are super excited about you watching our videos and look forward to your continued support. It means the world to us. See you in the next videos.